Hey guys, my name is Cyan and I am popping in today to talk about social media marketing in 2018. Yesterday, I went to our quarterly meetup for the Rising Tide Society Tuesdays Together with the Miami and Fort Lauderdale groups, and I loved attending. Yesterday's topic was actually social media marketing, and it was just so great to see all of the other creatives, connect with everyone. I know it's been a little bit of a hiatus with the holidays and everything else, but one thing that I noticed at the end of the conversation yesterday was how many questions people had about how to actually implement some of the change, the big thing was how to beat the algorithm. And while I don't think that any of us are ever going to really beat the algorithm, I think there are things that we can do to help us ensure that we are leveraging the changes that are coming our way, so that way we don't fall behind, and that way our businesses can continue to grow and evolve using these platforms. And I realize that that's probably easier said than done, that it may seem scary because you may have just figured out how to master Instagram right before this, and then of course Mark comes with a new change and here we go again. I get it, I totally do. Alex spoke yesterday about social media marketing and how he's grown his account to over 30,000 people. And I think that is amazing. One of the things that he talked about was really tapping into your passion, what you're born to do. And I think that when you do have that, great things happen. I think that people take notice, and that was one of the things that he said yesterday. Basically, when you're performing and doing what you were born to do, people will take notice and will have to work with you or have to follow you. And I totally agree. Because you know what, for me with Simply Cyan, that's definitely happened. When I announced that I was turning Simply Cyan into a marketing and branding strategy firm, people came out and said, oh my God, that is so perfect for you. Why haven't you been doing this all along? And that was definitely the confirmation that I needed to know that I was going down the right path, that I was starting the right journey. And you know what, I've been doing marketing all along. So I was showing up every week or every month or wherever I was and providing that marketing advice. So that's why those people felt so compelled that yes, that I was on the right path. And that was amazing. But you know what, just being on the right path alone is not enough. And that was one of the things that Alex also talked about yesterday. He said that he consistently shows up on Instagram, and consistently showing up wherever you are is a big piece of that. So if you're not being consistent on social media, well, that's the first step that we need to tackle. Consistently showing up is going to help you create that audience and that following. But if you're anything like me, you don't have thousands of followers behind your name, and that's okay. Because you can be successful in your business without thousands or even hundreds of people following you. You just have to do the right things, be passionate about what you're doing, and consistently show up in order to make that happen. But I'll take it a step further, because I want you to be able to implement those things easily. And I know that for myself, one of the things that I said I wanted to do this year was do more video, and that I wanted to add value to your life. I wanted to make sure that the things that I felt were like, well, duh, Cyan, of course you know that. Other people might not find it that way. So how can I consistently show up and provide value in your life? So this is one of the ways, because there were so many questions at the end of the day yesterday with, well, how can I truly leverage the changes that are happening with social media marketing for my business so that way I don't fall behind? Well, I heard you, and I got up this morning and I just had to share some thoughts with you guys, because you know what better time to start than right now? So if you're tired of feeling like you're running around in circles and not making progress on what you want to do, I think we've got a couple things that can help. And I don't want this to be additional work, but I just want it to be ways that you can leverage the new changes. So if you haven't heard, Mark Zuckerberg announced last week that Facebook and social media marketing, Facebook and Instagram are changing. They are changing the algorithm, so that way they are focusing on creating a space for people to connect, for community, and to really engage in the content that they want to see. And I know that hasn't always worked out to the benefit of the consumer, but they are making sure that they are hearing their consumers. And when I say consumers, I'm talking about the people that are utilizing the Facebook and Instagram app, which means you and I, but not as business owners, as consumers of his product. And his product is Facebook and Instagram. So at the end of the day, his biggest concern and his goal is to make sure that we stay in the app longer. And the only way that we're going to do that is if they're delivering the content that we want to see, which means if I want to see content from you and you want to see content from me or from my family and friends or whomever, then that needs to be showing up in my feed. And if I'm not seeing that and instead I'm seeing a bunch of silly videos, cat videos, and BuzzFeed articles, then I'm more likely to leave the app because I'm not engaging with the content and the people that I want to be seeing. And so they are fine-tuning their algorithm. And I applaud them for that because you know what? He is focusing on his consumer, as we all should be as business owners. We need to think about our customer first. So I do applaud Mark for making these changes. It's something that I think a lot of people have been complaining about for a while. So they're making sure that people are not getting bombarded with BuzzFeed articles that get a lot of engagement, but really don't add value to the customer's life, to his customer's life. So when you think about the things that are at the forefront of what Facebook is doing, we just need to simply adapt to those things. And I get it, I'm totally oversimplifying. But if we think about how we can create community, how we can engage and be social, and how we can add value to the people that we're connected with on social media, we're gonna come out better. We just have to shift our mindset. And our mindset, I think, traditionally has been, well, social media is a marketing channel and we need to market, which means we get all stiff and weird and we start asking people to read our blog posts and to buy from us and sell, and we really forget that Facebook and Instagram were created to be social media accounts, which means they were created to be social. So we should show up to be social, to create that community, to engage, to connect with other people. And if we're not doing that, then we're not gonna win. Or beat the algorithm. So first and foremost, make sure that you're showing up to engage and be social. Rule number 1. All right, so you're there, you're being social, you're engaging. Now you can add value. Adding value is going to be a big piece of this because human nature is what's in it for me. And when you think about that, when you're posting your content on social media, thinking about what's in it for the customer, how is the customer benefiting from this, what are they getting out of this, it changes the mindset. I think a lot of times we go to social media thinking, what are we as the business owner going to get out of it? How are we going to drive additional revenue and sales and clients out of this interaction or this post? Because we're business owners and that's ultimately what we want. I get it. But there has to be different layers, and social media is not the layer for that. And that's where I'm sure you've heard of email marketing and other things, because those might be better channels for converting and actually getting new customers. But social media is a great way to engage and connect with them, because you'll hear me say this in the future, but people want to do business with people they know, like, and trust. So you have to create that like factor. You have to create that know factor, and social media allows you to do that. Even the trust factor allows you, social media allows you to create that trust factor by adding value. So make sure that you're utilizing social media as a social platform, add value. And then here are some more tactical items that you can do to help you in 2018 leverage your social media marketing efforts so that way you're not falling behind and you're still growing your business. All right, here's a couple things. Don't use clickbait type of copy in your caption. Think of BuzzFeed. They have a lot of clickbait titles. That is not what we want to do. And if you've been implementing that, and if you've been doing that, that has to stop. As we talked about earlier, Mark Zuckerberg from Facebook and Instagram does not want to promote that type of content because that's not what consumers are finding valuable. So clickbait is going to be ranked lower in the algorithm. It's not going to have as much reach and people aren't going to see it. So make sure that you're not doing clickbait titles. And sometimes we create clickbait titles by not even realizing it. Just so make sure that you're steering away from anything that slightly resembles clickbait. A lot of times people got into the habit of posting captions that say, share this, like this, comment with your favorite emoji. Those types of posts are not going to be ranked high in the new algorithm. So making sure that we eliminate that copy from our Facebook and Instagram posts are going to help us further reach and kind of beat the algorithm. Video. I'm coming to you today with video. Video is definitely the new trend for 2018 marketing, not only on social media, but across the board. It is how people are consuming content. It is how I am consuming it, and I'll just be the one to say it. I love it. Between Instagram stories, Facebook Live, Facebook stories, Instagram Live, all of that stuff, I love connecting with my audience in that way. Not only as a business owner, but even as a consumer. I love that I'm able to see, get a sneak peek into the life of the people that I follow, the businesses that I follow. I love that I'm able to easily connect with them. I mean, when there's just something that I'm like, oh my gosh, me too, and it's totally relatable or really funny or whatever the case may be, I love that I can just show up in their direct message because it's so simple with the way that they've created the platform to engage with the people that you follow. And then oftentimes that starts a conversation. So look at that. Look at how easily you're able to create a one-on-one true conversation with someone through Instagram stories and live. It is much more effective than how we've been doing it with posts. Yes, you can have that conversation, but for whatever reason, it isn't quite the same. I don't know. There's something about showing up in someone's direct message and having a one-on-one conversation with them that just makes it a little bit more personable. So leveraging Instagram stories, Facebook Live, and all the other stuff will help you grow your business. And you don't have to be on all of them. Pick and choose. What platform is your audience hanging out on? And utilize that platform the most. You don't have to be on all of them. And then if you're doing video like this, where it's recorded and uploaded, make sure that you're uploading it into the native platform. And what I mean by that is Facebook and YouTube are competitors. So what people were doing for a while is uploading their videos onto YouTube and then linking that YouTube link onto Facebook. Well, that's a big no-no. They're now competitors. Facebook is trying to take a piece of that market share. They want you to upload these types of videos directly into the native platform. So no link from YouTube, just upload it straight to Facebook. And that they're going to give more weight and they're going to allow more people to see it because you're playing nice with the way that they want you to play. So play by their rules and we'll get a little bit further. Same thing goes with posts. A lot of times people will post on Instagram and then allow it to just push it over to Facebook. And while that may be convenient, the platforms don't want you to do that. Facebook and Instagram don't want you to do that. So they look at that as more automated type of content, and that's not what they want. They want the real authentic stuff. So they want you to post natively in the platform. So if you are posting the same thing on Instagram and then the same thing on Facebook, make sure that you are doing it in the native platforms and not just pushing it straight through. Which of course I'm going to tell you that if you are posting the same thing, you probably shouldn't post it at the same time. You'll get further engagement, further reach with different audience members if you post it at different times, and plus you don't want people to be like, oh, well, why am I following you over here if you're posting the same thing over there? So something to think about. Make sure that you actually leverage the platforms that you're in and not just cross post just because it's easier. What else? Oh, I already mentioned consistency. We have to make sure that we are being consistent. Showing up on a regular basis is going to help with your audience, with connecting with them, because they'll learn to expect that over time. If you pop in one day and then don't pop in for another 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, month, whatever it may be, you lose that consistency and people don't know when they should expect to hear from you. So if you pop in on a very regular basis, then you're training them, and they'll learn to know your habits. Hashtag strategy. So this is one that I've been reading a little bit about, and it's kind of got mixed reviews. I'm actually doing a test this morning based on an article that I read yesterday. But they are now saying that doing the 30 hashtags right after you post in a second comment on Instagram is no longer good. The algorithm is going to look at that and think that you are trying to grow your account, that you're more of a business account. And of course, they're going to deem that as not as relatable content. They're not going to put it high on the algorithm So the article that I was reading yesterday, they said to post your post without any hashtags, let it run, and we should theoretically get more engagement and more reach because Facebook algorithm and Instagram algorithm is going to view that as more authentic content. Let it run for 24 hours, and then after 24 hours, go and add hashtags back in to allow it to get like another burst of engagement. So that's something that I'm trying out right now. We'll see how that works. My post this morning is without any hashtags, and then tomorrow morning I'm going to go and add some back in. So we'll see how it goes. But one of the things that you should also be doing, as much as I talked about not putting hashtags on your posts, you should be leveraging a hashtag on your Instagram stories. That is amazing, and I can see a huge difference in the reach that I get when I use a hashtag in one of my Instagram stories versus when I don't. So make sure that you are leveraging the new tools that Facebook and Instagram are rolling out with the features that they're rolling out. So Instagram stories can be hashtagged. Make sure that you're doing that because they are definitely promoting that a lot. Video is definitely getting promoted much more than regular posts are. I know that in my search feed, a lot of it is video. So think about that. And then the other thing too is the new hashtag follow feature. If you're doing that, then you'll get more engagement. Basically, play nice with all of the things that Instagram and Facebook are rolling out. Be an early adopter on those items, and you'll just get more reach and more visibility into your stuff because they'll be happy that you're utilizing their new features. And then, of course, one thing that's really important to remember in any marketing efforts that you do is that it's not a one-size-fits-all. Your audience is not going to be the same as my audience and vice versa. My audience may love video and yours may not, although I tend to think that everyone's moving towards video nowadays. But there are certain things that need to be tested within your audience. You need to do a trial and error. You need to test and pivot, test and pivot, test and pivot. And it's a constant ongoing learning vehicle of seeing how your audience is adapting to new things. So make sure that you test out something, see if it works, if it resonates, if it doesn't, and then try something else. Don't try to test all at one time because that's not going to let you know what's working and what's not. But make sure that you experiment, that you play, that you push outside your comfort zone. And I know video is a big piece. I'm purely doing it today. And if you have a fear of going in front of the camera, let me just be the first to say that so do I. This doesn't come easy. This doesn't come naturally to me, even though it's really great to hear feedback from other followers saying, oh my God, you're such a natural. I love all of your videos. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I still get the jitters. It still makes me nervous. I don't know why. It is what it is. But I'm pushing past that because I don't want that to stop my growth in 2018. I don't want that to be the only reason why I didn't do something because I was a little afraid to get in front of the camera. So if that's something that you're struggling with, or you feel like you don't have anything to share, or you feel like you don't have a good story, whatever it may be, sometimes it's often the things like this that come out of nowhere that like, oh wait, I could do a story on that. Oh, I should share this because you know what? Before this morning, I never had this idea. I just listened to what all of you guys were saying last night. And I finally turned that into an opportunity to say, you know what, I can create a video about this. Let me talk about this a little bit. I want to make sure that I'm adding value. So I hope that these are helpful tips for you and your business and growing and leveraging your social media marketing in 2018. If you have any questions or want to continue this conversation, direct message me, email me, comment on this link, whatever it is, let's connect. I want to have a conversation. Until next time, see you guys. Bye.